Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the Breitling Superocean Heritage B20 Automatic 42 and the Rolex Submariner 124060. The Breitling was kindly lent in by Saltzman's Watches. I'll leave a link in the description to their website and their Instagram account. Please go follow them on Instagram and pay their website a visit. Greatly appreciate them sending this over for us to check out. And the Rolex Submariner I've owned for almost a year, not quite, I think about 8 months now. So I've really been enjoying this watch. Always wanted a Rolex, and this is my first and only Rolex. So the Breitling is, the MSRP is $5,250, and the Submariner is now $8,950. I bought it last year, so it was I think 11% less. So similarities, they of course both have sapphire crystal. The Breitling does have a dome to it. The Rolex is flat. This definitely has AR applied. I'm not sure if the Rolex does have AR or not. I don't think it does, but it might. You can definitely see it on the Breitling here. The Breitling is a black dial and a black ceramic bezel insert here, and you can see the AR coating kind of makes the dial look like it's blue in certain lights, certain angles here off the light bouncing off of it. Yeah, both of these watches are iconic. I really like the styling on the Breitling Superocean Heritage here, and of course I like the Rolex as well. So Submariner looks, very similar to what it looked like back in 1953, or was it 54? Anyway, so all right, let's get on with the show here. As I said, they both have ceramic bezel inserts. They're both stainless steel. This one is 316L stainless steel. It is a polished case. I can't take the plastic off as it's an agreement here with Saltzman's, which is fine. Just letting you know. That's why it still has plastic on it. And this one I've been wearing, so it does have some scuffs on it actually. I don't know how they get on there, but they do. I try to baby this watch, but anyway, that's the life, I guess. But anyway, 904L stainless steel versus 316L stainless steel. No date on the Submariner. Of course, you can't get it with the date with the Cyclops over here, and then the date on this one's down at the 6 o'clock below all that text, and they both do say Swiss made. Submariner has a bunch of text as well, but no big deal. Okay, so the Breitling has the B20 movement, which is kind of in-house, kind of not. I guess I would consider it not in-house since it's made by Tudor, and it's based off the Tudor MT5612 movement. That gets you 70 hours of power reserve. And this is COSC, so it's rated to -4 plus 6 seconds. Just look at the sign crown there. Can't see the movement on either of these watches. I'd like to see the movement, but well, you can't, so that's the way they're made. Okay, so the Rolex has the 3230 movement, 70 hours of power reserve, same as the Breitling, but this one has better accuracy. It's rated to -2 plus 2 seconds. I personally really don't care all that much about accuracy on a mechanical watch. If I want an accurate watch, I'll just throw on my G-Shock Square. But it shows some craftsmanship to have the better accuracy. They spent more time on the movement for sure. Breitling is rated to 200 meters of water resistance. Rolex here is rated to 300 meters of water resistance. Breitling is a larger watch, as you can probably tell here, looking at them on screen. Okay, so the Breitling we're looking at 51.5 lug to lug, 42 millimeter bezel diameter, 14.4 thick. So this is a thick watch, considering the 200 meter water resistance. 22 millimeter lug width here, and believe it or not, this mesh does taper. I've never seen a mesh taper before, but it tapers down to 18. So a nice transition of 4mm. And you can see it does have these removable links here, which I've never seen on a mesh bracelet before either. So I'm very impressed with this bracelet here. 6.7mm crown, and the weight with all the links, 173 grams. So on the Submariner, 300 meters water resistance, and it is a thinner watch than the Breitling. I'll show you both of these side by side here in a moment. 48.1 lug to lug, bezel diameter 40.6mm, case maybe a little bit smaller than that, but it's kind of hard to get an accurate measurement that way, so I just measure the bezel. 12.4mm thick, so 2mm thinner than the Breitling, and 100m more water resistance. 21mm lug width, and it does taper down to 16.5, so that would be 4.5mm differential from here down to here. This watch wears wonderfully on wrist. It does have the positive end links, which do stick out farther than the case, but it wears beautifully on wrist here. 6.9mm signed screw down crown, and 149 grams size for my 6.5-inch wrist. Let's look at the sides of these, the thickness here. So you can definitely see the Breitling is a larger, thicker watch. And I'll show both of these on my wrist here in a minute. So I already mentioned the Breitling's on this wonderful mesh bracelet with removable links. You do have 6 micro adjust here, and you can't see it on the side of the clasp. They're hidden inside. There's some depressions in here. Hopefully you can see this. There's some depressions in the case there, so you just take your spring bar tool and compress the spring bar, and then push the bracelet in or out, depending on how you want it to fit. Of course, I'm not going to do that. This watch is on loan, so I'm really not messing with it too much, other than throwing it on wrist for video here. Okay, so the Rolex has solid end links, of course, solid links as you would expect from a modern day Rolex. And this does have the glide lock system. So you would just pull this out, and then you can slide it back and forth. I'm not really wanting to mess with it. I have it sized, I think, perfectly for my wrist, so, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You just pull it out, and you can slide it in and out and push it back in. Looks like I got some marks on the side of the. Let's see here. There we go. Good as new, almost. Alright, let's throw the Rolex on wrist first, and then we'll throw the Breitling on wrist. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. I greatly appreciate it, and it helps me out a bunch as well. We do have the Rolex crown on the safety clasp here. So it is a long clasp. Actually, I'll show you that compared to this one. Give it to you. Maybe I can't show that to you. To get you an idea there. Anyway, here it is on my 6.5-inch wrist with a 52mm wristband. I wouldn't want to go much larger than the Submariner for my wrist. Really happy I was able to purchase this watch. Took a bit of waiting, but the waiting was worth it. I definitely didn't want to go the gray market route. So there we go. Let me know which of these two watches you would choose or pick, or I guess you can always go with I guess the correct answer is to say both, but I can't keep them all. Yeah, I really wanted to check this watch out for a while now, so I really appreciate them sending it over. Saltzman's, that is. I should have put the hands at 1010, I guess, so sorry about that if it bothers you. And one thing I do want to point out about this watch is the bezel is not a friction fit bezel like most dive watches. This is actually captive. There's screws around the bezel here. I'll show you that in a moment. This time Breitling there inside the clasp. And then you have the B there, that's present on the dial as well. So let's zoom in and I'll show you how the bezel is attached to the watch. Right there, actually, you can see the screw there. I think some of these, no, I guess these are all screw heads. I thought I saw one that was like a false screw head, but that wouldn't really make any sense. I must just not have seen the slot. So there you go. I have a Zen U50 that's attached like this, and also the Zen 104 and 105 bezel. I think all the Zen bezels must be attached like this. So, neat system. Alright, well I think we covered all of the dimensions and everything else, so all that's left now is the lume shot. So I'll be right back with the lume. Well, it's not going to be very hard to determine which one has the better lume here. The indices have a much larger area on the Rolex for lume to be applied, so it's really not even a fair battle, but or a fair comparison, I should say. But the Breitling's, not that bad considering there's not that much area to be applied, lume to be applied to the indices. Alright, that will conclude this video presentation. As always, thank you for your time and thank you for watching.